Part C. So now we actually, I think A and B, we might have even had the same initial quantities. I think those are preset, but now I have a different initial quantity. It says convert fluid ounces per kilogram. That's what I have here. And our goal is to get this to milliliters per pound. So I'm going to write the goal. I like writing it down here just so I know what I should be going for. And again, the way that we do this doesn't matter whether I switch out the fluid ounces with milliliters first or I switch out the kilograms with pounds. Either one is okay. Let's see if I can find, let's do the kilograms with pounds because I see it immediately here in row 13. I have 1 kilogram is equal to 2.20462 pounds. All right, so let's go make this change. Again, notice that my kilograms are in my denominator, so that means I want to place them in my numerator, so that way they will cancel each other out. Perfect. All right, we can see that we're going to get a cancellation here. And now we need to just get rid of the fluid ounces and change them out with milliliters. So let's go ahead. We're going back to our conversion chart. Looks like in row 14, we have that 1 fluid ounce is equal to 29.5735 milliliters. And again, we want to get rid of the fluid ounces, which are currently in our numerator, which means I should go place them in our denominator. And this says 1 fluid ounce is equal to 29.5735 milliliters. Perfect. And again, I'm going to highlight my fluid ounces because we have everything cancel out just the way we want it. We're left with the units that we care about. Grab a different color. The units that we care about are pounds and milliliters. And so again, we're going to save all the calculation for Excel, but just so we can see, this is 16.7 times 1, which is our next box, times the 29.5735. And we have the units of milliliters, which is what we wanted, all divided by, it looks like we have 1 times 2.20462, and the units that we want, pounds. So again, all the actual calculations will happen in Excel. I will see you there. Welcome into Part C for the Excel version. And let's go ahead and start by reading Part C. It says convert fluid ounces per kilogram to milliliters per pound. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the fluid ounces to milliliters, right? Fluid ounces to milliliters. So again, right now fluid ounces is in my numerator over here. If I would like to get rid of it and replace it with milliliters, that means fluid ounces needs to go into the denominator, which means milliliters needs to go into the numerator. Perfect. Okay, and so now the reason why I like doing this first is because then I can go look at this ratio and go up to my conversion table. So I'm going to put equals. I'm looking for milliliters first and then fluid ounces. Looks like we have, let's keep going. Here in row 14, so we said milliliters first divided by fluid ounces. And I know because it's divided by 1 it won't change anything, but I still want to use the chart here and cell references. Enter. Perfect. So now we have successfully converted fluid ounces over to milliliters. So the last thing is we need to convert kilograms to pounds. We can see that kilograms is now in the denominator. If I need to get rid of it, it needs to be in the numerator, which means that pounds must be in the denominator. And again, now we can use this to go look for our conversion. So I'll put equals. I'm looking for kilograms first, and then pounds. Looks like in row 13, we wanted kilograms first, divided by pounds. Enter. Perfect. And now finally, we just want to multiply this all the way across. Oops, looks like I forgot my name. Let's go type in my name. Or else it won't give us our values. Equals initial quantity times first ratio times second ratio. And let's see. Now it marks it correct. Perfect. And again, the ending units that we want here are milliliters per pound. Awesome. And you can see both these two things are marked correctly. And just, I don't know if I mentioned this last video, it's not going to mark these correct because we could switch the order. So either ordering is correct. So it's not going to give you the same kind of nice self-grading, but at the very end it will show you. So if you use cell references and you have the correct formula in the final quantity and the final units, then you will be good to go. I will see you in part D. Last and final part here, we're going to go through the equation per normal, and then we will go through the Excel. This is very similar to what we did in B, which was row 37. I have 30.4 is my initial quantity. I have meters squared again, so we know how to deal with meters squared, and it's over kg. And my goal here is to turn this into square feet. So we're going to do that part first since we already did that in B, and it's per gram. Okay, so let's get rid of the feet. Remember that if we have this squared, we have to do the ratio twice. So we're looking for the one that compares. We are looking for meters and feet. That's in row 22, which we have 1 meter is equal to 3.2808 feet. Okay, right now, meters is in my numerator, which means when I cancel it out, I would like meters to be in my denominator. So that way it cancels out. And I'll put the, oops, let's come back. I'll put the, sorry about that, 3.2808 feet. And remember, since it's being squared, we need to do this twice. 2 times. So we're going to do the same ratio one more time. And now we can clearly see meters. The meters are going to go away. Last, we need to get rid of kilograms. And we need to switch it out with grams. The root there, kilo, coming from 1,000. So 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. And so, again, we notice, let's grab a different, let's see, we'll grab this color. All right, we notice that we have kilograms here in our denominator, and if I want to get rid of those, that means I must put them in my numerator. So 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams. And again, now I have my kilograms canceling each other out, and the meters cancel each other out, and so I'm left with exactly what I want, which is going to be the feet squared in the numerator and the grams in the denominator. So we have 30.4 times 3.2808 times another 3.2808 times 1, but we have our, that doesn't matter, we have our feet squared, divided by, we have a bunch of ones until we get to the 1,000 for grams. Again, save all of this calculation for Excel and use cell references. I know I've mentioned this and I'll mention it in the Excel part, but for these ratios, we want to be using the actual conversion table cell references. So I will see you in our last Excel part, and then you guys will be good to go to submit topic 2 DQ1. See you in the Excel. All right, last part here, part D, convert square meters per kilogram to square feet per grams. Now, in part B, we already did square meters to square feet, so let's start off with that. Reminder, meters squared is up here in the numerator, so I need to get rid of 2 meters twice. There's 1 meter times another meter. So we have 2 boxes here, so they're going to be exactly the same as we had up here, actually. So in order to get rid of meters that are in the numerator, meters needs to be in the denominator, which means feet goes in the numerator. And we're just going to copy this twice because we need to make this conversion 2 times. That way, here's one of the meters, here's the other one. It's going to cancel out with the meter squared, and then I have feet times feet, which will get me these square feet. We're going to go look for that conversion now. We want feet first, then meters. We'll put an equal sign. We're looking for feet and then meter. So here's feet divided by meter. F22 divided by B22. Enter. We're going to do the same thing one more time. Equals. And again, it's the same conversion. Feet divided by meters. So again, F22 divided by B22. Perfect. So now we have successfully converted meters squared to square feet, or meters, square meters to square feet. Let's now convert kilograms to grams. So you can see grams here is in the denominator. If I want to get rid of it, I need to put it in the numerator. And that means grams goes in the denominator. So we got to get rid of kilograms and divide it by grams. Now, kilo normally means 1,000, so it should be that 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, but we're going to go double check. So we'll put an equal sign. We want kilograms first. So that is located here in row 16. So kilogram first, divided by, and correct, 1,000 grams. Lastly, let's multiply this all together. So equals our initial quantity times our first ratio times our second ratio times our third ratio. And let's finish this with the correct units. It should be feet squared divided by grams. Enter. And it should mark them both correct. So that is it for part D and this entire DQ. This was a longer one. I will see you in topic 2, DQ2.